Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We are here with the amazing and talented and lovely Sharon Tomlinson, RN. She works for Acappella, but she's also going to school to be a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner, which is amazing. What made you want to go into that field?
Good morning, Krissa, and good morning, Joe. I have a passion for helping people to stay well and to heal and to enjoy their lives. And so right now, I believe that if you have a healthy body, healthy mind, you could have a healthy future. So that's my purpose for venturing into other areas of nursing right now, so that we can have a mind, body, soul healthiness.
Well, you know, I
wonderful.
worked in a psych hospital for 3 years back in the 90s and worked part-time. And I found a lot of those adults in the psychiatric hospital, there's no end to their pain. They do not want to get out of that pain. They can't step out of that box. And so it's so wonderful to have somebody like you that has such a passion for their patients and for people and healing. So we're excited. We're just so excited and honored to have you. I want to say Sharon is one of our RNs that works in private duty. She is probably the most requested RN that we have. Wherever we send her to a client that wants a private nurse, Sharon always gets glowing reports. And I want you to explain, you know, that there's such a demand that's growing for private RNs and private LVNs in the home. That role is different than an RN in a hospital or at a nursing home. And tell me, because you've got so much experience, tell me what you feel are the keys to your success in the home.
The keys to my success is to follow your mission statement, Acappella's mission statement, and that's to treat every patient like they're my own family. And so once you start with that idea, you know, you will automatically allow your experience, your background, and give quality care to clients, because that is the company's mission, and that's now your mission.
Well, and it's so important when somebody discharges from the hospital. One of the biggest complaints I get is nobody knows what the other one's doing. The right hand doesn't know what the left does. And it's so important from the administrative end. We want to make sure that we are communicating with not only the discharge planner at the hospital, with the physician. If the patient is getting Medicare home health or if the patient is being put on hospice, that Sharon, you or the private nurse is coordinating care, because we don't want to have two sets of medication. You know, one doctor says this, the discharge doctor says this, the hospitalist says this. And so that's our role too, is just making sure everyone is on the same page and there's nothing dropped in that communication. But just tell me some of the things as an RN in the home. What do you do that you wouldn't do in a hospital?
Well, it requires, a little bit more monitoring, one-on-one monitoring, and reporting anything immediately, reporting anything that's not normal. And sometimes, time, you can't allow time to lapse for certain things or ignore anything. So just to be watchful, and also to educate clients and help them to stay in their home and not have to go to a higher level of care.
Well, and most or a lot of the RN cases that we bring on, the doctors give the option of going to a nursing home. And nobody wants to go to a nursing home. First of all, that RN on the floor probably has 25, 30 other patients she's overseeing, and you're not going to get the care. So with the one-on-one RN, they are doing kind of a Nurse Mary Poppins. They're doing a little bit of everything.
Yes.
They are making sure they're going to help with a shower or bath. They're going to make sure meds, or they're following nursing care plans. They're doing the medication. You even do a little bit of tidying, a little bit of cleaning up, meal preparation. So it's kind of a nurse's aide, a teacher, an RN, an advocate, all rolled into one.
Yes, indeed.
And so a lot of nurses think, oh, I can do private duty and I'll just sit there. And it's not. It's not about that. It's being proactive, and you're there. I always tell our staff when they start with us, pretend you've got 4 hospital walls around you, because it's so easy to get comfortable in the home, because it is a home, and you have the TV on, you've got the sofa, the family in and out, comfy, So you want to always remember that you're working. And what about some of the types of patients that you've had? What are some of the disease processes you see, or illnesses? Give some examples of some patients that you've cared for.
Post-op patients, of course, and also patients who might be a lot of cancer, patients being treated for cancer, a lot of patients with chronic conditions. And so, helping them to understand their new diagnosis and take care of themselves and properly administer their medications and, follow up with their doctors. These are mainly the things we do to make sure that people can, have a good quality of life.
And a lot of people think private nurses don't have to follow orders, but we do. We still work on the direction of a physician. We have a care plan. So we are following orders. It's not the wild, wild west once you get home. We really do have to follow those orders. We're licensed with the state. But I want to ask you something else. I know you're very much into the wellness aspect and well body, well mind. Talk about how the private duty nurse works with nutrition in the home. That's another thing that we do. And so tell me what your thoughts are on when you're preparing a meal and say a patient, let's just use an example. Maybe a patient has stomach problems. What would your suggestion be on nutrition for somebody with stomach problems that has lost a lot of weight due to an illness, and the goal is to gain weight when they get home? Give me an example of what you would do.
Right. Well, that patient should be followed by a dietitian, and of course, we as nurses will be monitoring their elimination, their intake. A lot of people are dehydrated. A lot of people are on certain medications that might be causing, problems with their digestion. So these are things that we will monitor and report so that they can have the proper interventions, whether it's with a dietitian or changing certain medications or sometimes increasing fluids. So
and I always encourage when somebody just doesn't feel like eating. We've all grown up learning you have 3 meals a day. But when somebody's not feeling good and they're having problems eating, I always encourage frequent meals throughout the day, small frequent feeding, 6 or 7 meals a day, but just smaller, easy to digest. Even the products that have extra nutrition in them, is always good. And I know, just feeding into that, I know that you are a big advocate on water and how important water is in a diet. And so talk to us about that and some things that you've learned in your research.
Yes. This past year, Joe, I've learned that most of the bottled water that's on the market, it's highly acidic. And also, if they do say that they're alkaline, there's chemicals that's been added to it, like baking soda, to make the water appear to be alkaline. So I found out that true alkaline water, which will be working in the body as an antioxidant, along with your fruits and vegetables, it's good to get your antioxidants from fruits and vegetables, and not so much on supplements. The National Institute of Health says that it's better to, get it from what you're eating, the antioxidants, which is going to help to move out those free radicals that we're taking in from using our cell phones, from the air that we're breathing, from the microwave, the foods that we're eating, and hopefully everyone's now eating organic foods.
I know
Okay,
there's
yeah.
a big push for that, and I've been doing that myself. I really try to eat healthier. So so in the hospital, when somebody is encouraged, I want you to be sure to be drinking how many ounces a day while you're in the hospital. What kind of water are they using in the hospital?
Usually it's tap water and it's acidic. Our organs are alkaline, so it's good to, have the best water. We like to drink the best of everything, the wine or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it's good to have the best water. And so sodas and fruit juices, those things have high sugar contents in them. They're also acidic, so they're going to cause inflammation in the body. And this is how people end up with the itises, like the arthritis, colitis.
From soda?
Too much of anything
Wow.
would, yeah.
So basically, inflammation is the
It's
culprit.
what you're trying to avoid,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
So acidity, the acidity in the drinks and the foods that we're eating is part of the culprit causing that
linked.
inflammation in the body.
Exactly, it's
Okay.
linked. And so you have oxidation, and then it's like rusting. So that's how, the aging occurs, because we're introducing those products into our bodies. So it's probably accelerating your aging and causing inflammation.
That's a really good kind of, I want to say almost a visual, just to think when you're putting those things in your body, like especially if your organs are alkaline and we're putting in so many things that are acidic, it's causing the rusting of your insides.
Krista, you see exactly.
I see.
Yeah, exactly what we're talking about. Yeah.
Well, I was a Tab fan. I drank Tab all through high school and college, and then switched to Diet Coke eventually. But I wound up, I knew I didn't need all that soda. I was kind of addicted to it, actually. So I started drinking this Spark, this Advocare Spark, and I just went cold turkey, started drinking the Spark, and have only had a handful of sodas probably since.
Mm-hmm.
But I really love drinking a soda. And when I went back to after not drinking for so long, they don't taste the same. I think, how did I like this? This just tastes like syrup and yuck.
That's all it is.
But tell us about this. I'm fascinated about this alkaline water. How can we get a true alkaline that's organic, not chemically made alkaline water, but how can we get this product?
True alkaline water can be found down into the earth. They call it geothermal water. You can buy it at Whole Foods for maybe $2 a bottle. There's a pretty good brand called Starkey. They sell it. However, $2 a bottle is going to add up real quick and become quite expensive. You can also fly to the different wells in Idaho or Honduras and, get your water. However, there is another way. There is a Japanese product, and it's called Enagic, and they make a Kangen water ionizer that you can use in your home instead of buying bottled water and spending maybe $10, $15 a week on that. We all know that the plastic bottles that we're using is an environmental nightmare. So that alone is enough to save you on expenses. And you can cook with the water. It gives you 7 different waters to clean your fruits and vegetables, get those oil-based chemicals off. It gives you just clean water, just filtered water that's taking out all of the medications that's not been stripped out of our local utility source. Is taking out the chlorine and all of those other contaminants that we're finding in tap water that could be harmful to us. So it gives you clean water, it gives you alkaline water, it gives you water that can clean your fruits and vegetables, it gives you water that sanitizes as well. So if you're allergic to everything, you can, wash your clothes with it, wash your anything in your home with it. It's as strong as bleach. the sanitizing water that this machine gives you. So you're spending 73 cents a day on average using this machine that will last you 30 years or more.
Okay, and you compare buying a Starbucks. Like my iced tea today was $3.50. And so you compare that to 73 cents, and there's so much value. And my thing, Chris and I were just talking about it. Even at our office, we like to have water bottles for our employees, and we have orientations and have them come in. But I really want to, protect our environment, which is what is happening to all those water bottles. And so this is something I'm very interested in. Yes. For our office. And I would think that hospitals, nursing homes, assisted livings, even schools.
Exactly.
It would benefit these kids. I know, private schools. So tell us more about the water.
The water will help to, like we said, move the free radicals out of the body, and also hopefully it's a natural way, along with the foods that we're eating that are antioxidants, to help to reverse aging. Some people have been healed from cancer. They've been told they only have 3 months to live, and they've drank this water, and within a few weeks, they're improving. And we have one gentleman, he's coming to the Dallas area next Saturday, the 19th, in Garland at the Enagic office. And he's going to tell his story about, surviving cancer for the past 4 years without any medical intervention. They told him there was nothing else that they could do for him, and he survived. We have clients who have gotten off medication after drinking this water. So it does help people with chronic conditions and different diseases that's been caused by inflammation.
Okay, and I know you said he's speaking. Is that something the public could go and listen to this presentation?
Sure. If you're interested, you can contact me at greenqueenbiz@gmail.com, and I'll give you the time, date, and it's standing room only. And by the time he's done speaking, every time the machines are sold out. So, yeah.
And can you tell us the cost of this machine, the Kangen?
The Kangen machine.
Sorry.
The water ionizer starts at about $2,300, but it's going to last you 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are there different versions of it, or different? When you said it starts at $2,300, what are the differences?
Well, of course, we have the regular, power, and then we have turbo power. So if you're into turbo power, you might be looking at twice the cost, but you're going to see a lot of changes sooner than with just a regular machine. Yeah.
And we're going to post on our Facebook page your phone number and information, and that sounds like a fascinating story to hear.
Well, the differences between, so when people, just in the general public, we think, oh, if we drink bottled water, any kind, it's going to be better than tap water. What's the actual truth?
It's all the same. You might as well drink tap water if you're going to drink and you're paying money for something that it's not beneficial in the long run, and you're also damaging the environment. So protect your health and eat healthy, drink healthy foods, and of course, follow doctor's orders.
Well, we're talking about the cost of it. When you think, Joe mentioned Starbucks, when you think, okay, that was $3.50, and the average coffee, let's just say, is about $5, literally $5 at least, and that's for a tall. It's crazy. You could actually, this machine over the long run would actually save money if you're a frequent Starbucks drinker, if you spend that money on Starbucks, because if you had amazing quality alkaline water, and if people need to drink coffee, obviously coffee's acidic, but if you're putting coffee itself, if you're making it with this
your alkaline
amazing
water,
yes,
then it's and of course I believe coffee is also a bit of an antioxidant. So that's your green teas. There's certain products that you do want to drink. Let's say coconut water. A lot of coconut water, they're more alkaline. So There's things that we can drink besides these bottled waters.
So green tea is more.
It's more.
It is more alkaline.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
right.
that's good to know.
Yeah.
Are all the teas the same? Are all teas more alkaline than let's say coffee, or I mean all the different teas from green tea, black tea,
your herbal teas,
all the herbals.
Yeah,
okay,
right. Some are more antioxidant. I prefer to stay with the green tea.
Okay,
yeah,
just overall health benefits.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, what if there's somebody that has just not taken care of themselves? They're overweight, they've been smokers or heavy drinkers, and they're in the mid-50s and they want to make a change. Is this something that can, not reverse, of course, but can this water help with the healing process, with all the damage this person's done to their body? Tell us something about that.
I personally call it healing water. So, yeah, that's my term for this water because I've noticed more energy. I sleep better, after drinking this water for the past 6 months. So I feel the benefits of it, and I'm sure a lot of other people will too. I can't speak for everyone. Mm-hmm. However, I do have a lot of testimonies, and I do enjoy this product myself, the water myself.
That's great.
Because when you think of years and years ago, about before when eating was clean, when we were eating from the earth and from nature, before everything got treated, that's where our water was, and it's God created. I mean, it is God created natural water, and just like it's starting to make me think of all these things of when you're talking about organic foods and things like that, because we used to eat super clean and drink clean.
Exactly.
Then, the world happened and life happened and everything's treated. And now let's go back to where everything is clean and natural again.
And that's what Kangen stands for, back to origin.
Oh, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's fascinating.
Well, as a psychiatric nurse practitioner to be, tell us just off the subject a little bit, brain health. How important is brain health to every phase of life? And what can we do to protect our brains?
Yes, to protect your brain, let's start there. You should have a healthy diet. You should be eating a healthy diet. They say you are what you eat, and if you're eating good, you feel good, and your brain works better. Okay, so that's the key right there. Your diet, to have less symptoms like anxiety, sleep problems. It all traces back to your diet. Too much sugar. You've seen the kids when they eat too much sugar, they just, they're hyper, and, these are the things that we're affected by when we don't eat properly.
And there's just sugar in everything. And I've been really more conscientious of what I'm eating and looking at the sugar content. And it's amazing how much of our diet has sugar in it.
Exactly.
Healthy snacks too.
Yeah. And some people, they're turning to alternatives, I'm not going to call names, but Splenda. We'll say Splenda. But I've seen Splenda kill ants. Okay, so I've told a lot of my patients that, and they've immediately stopped buying Splenda.
Wow.
So the alternatives, you have to be careful with those products as well.
What about the sweet and low? I'm a sweet and low fan. Is that so bad for you?
I'll remove it from the office immediately.
So if somebody doesn't want the sugar in tea,
right?
And like I love iced tea, and I want it sweetened a little bit, but not with sugar, what would you recommend?
Well, I've tried this product called monk fruit. If you want my personal suggestion, they have one, I believe it's called monk fruit, M-O-N-K and then fruit. So that one tastes good and it's healthier. So
I've heard of that.
Yeah. And where do you get that, the monk fruit?
Your Central Market, Whole Foods.
Okay.
I mean, how do you feel about the agaves and like the agave nectar and things like that? What's your thought?
Everything is okay if we're, limiting our intake.
Okay.
But A lot of us, we overdo it and we, go over the limits.
So even natural sweeteners like agave and honey and things like that, it still needs to be limited.
Exactly, at a certain amount, yeah.
Good. Well, this has been so informative, and
Thank
we're
you.
so excited, and I can't wait to try this Kangen water, because you mentioned that you can go to the office
In Garland, yes.
Garland and get a demonstration.
Yes, ma'am.
And I want to do that because I would love to try. So I can
Absolutely.
get a gallon and meet you there and then take it home and just try it and see. So how quickly am I going to see results?
For some people, once they have a glass of the water, we try to have them start at 8.5. I started at 9.5, and that caused a cramp in my stomach right away because the molecular structure of this water is different from your regular water, so it's being immediately absorbed into your intestines, into your gut. And, your immune system is in your gut, so it's going to, help with your immune system and also help hydrate you better than regular water. If you drink on a hot day, a couple bottles of water, you just feel your stomach be feeling squishy and the water's not moving like it would with the Kangen water.
That makes sense.
And so I felt a cramp right away. Some people feel a little headache, but it goes away right away. So the key is to start at a lower alkalinity, like 8.5.
So the machine controls the level of alkalinity that
Yes.
that is put in the water.
The machine speaks
Okay.
5 different languages. It will tell you what water it's giving you each time. And 7 different types of waters you can get from it.
That's awesome. Thank you,
technology.
Sharon, so much. And thank you so much for the amazing job you do
Yes.
as one of our private duty RNs. Our nursing cases have grown. There's such a need for awesome private duty nurses, and Acappella is where you go to find those, such as Sharon. And we're just honored to have you on staff. I wish I could interview all of our nurses because we've got an amazing team of nurses. And
Yes, we do.
If anybody needs information or needs a private nurse, say for post-op care, cancer, going for treatments of some kind and just wants an RN, come to Acappella Call. We're happy to answer any questions.
Absolutely.
And we just appreciate your time, your morning this morning.
Thanks for
And
inviting me, Jo.
Thank you for the
Yes.
information. It was wonderful. And thank you for doing the wonderful job you do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Y'all have a great day and a great weekend. We'll see you next week.
Happy Friday.
Bye.